Welcome to The Joyous Edge, where we talk to top executives and performers about their journey, what they do when they're at their edge and breaking point, and what brings them joy in the everyday hustle.
This is the joyous edge. It's time to shine.
Well, Darryll, thank you so much for joining us today. I had so much fun with you and your family at the yoga in the park. It was so cool.
Man, I love. That was my first year.
Yeah,
And what a great moment to take a collective breath
I know.
together and move our bodies in sync in unison. Like,
I know.
I love it.
It was so funny because I was not even planning on staying this weekend. And Christine and John let me know about it. And I was like, yeah, let me check it out because I had been missing it, missing yoga. It's like, I need to go and just be. And then I met you. And I met so many people there, but it was awesome. So, well, thank you for being with us today. One of the things I always start off with is what is one of the catalysts that started you on your journey? And share that with our community.
I started at a different place,
Yes,
which is
go for it.
someone seeing something in me that I could not see in myself.
I love that.
I had a mentor who, for whatever reason, just used to look at me and tell me I was a man of God.
Wow.
And at the time, I was behaving like the opposite.
Yep.
I was selling drugs. I was lying about selling drugs to my, college team. Central Michigan University is where I played football. And my parents, I think they might have known because it was kind of like maybe obvious, but primarily weed and Adderall. And all throughout the state of Michigan, though. And so,
Really?
to have this whole behavioral lifestyle where I'm doing that, and then somebody walks up to me and just goes, "Man of God."
Wow.
I'm like, not at all. But that was a catalyst. And I tell people all the time that sometimes you have to borrow somebody else's belief in you before you can believe in yourself. And
Yeah.
that was the case for me.
I know that's one of the things we talked about the other day was just because there are times where I think we all go through it where people see, especially in leadership, as a leader, as a role model, they see you, they hold you up on this pedestal, but we're all human. And it's like, it's a lot of pressure to be up there, but it's also a lot of inspiration and motivation if, to try to live up to that and work to be like, no, I need to lead by example. I think I'm glad that you shared that.
Oh,
So it's awesome.
I'm an open book.
I know.
Everything's
I
on
know.
the table.
So, tell me a little bit about just after that. After so your mentor came up to you, told you, you're a man of God. What did you do with that? I mean, how long did it take you to feel it? Because I know now you're very involved in the church, but how long did it take you to get to that point to feel like, yeah, I am a man of God?
Man, years. I think, intensively, like two, it was like a big major, like, no way, I'm living this other way. I'm not at all like even doing like impactful things in the world. I'm not as great of a leader as you think that I am. You're just you just are being an overly religious dude is kind of what I was telling him at the time. And sometimes life, Michael Beckwith used to say, sometimes pain has to push you until the vision pulls you. And so like I just didn't have enough connection to the vision to pull me. So pain had to push me, man. And so I just, ended up just at a rock bottom place, went through this dark depression, trying to hold on to this dream of being an athlete, professionally, wasn't making it. And then finally just like, couldn't keep up the lies, couldn't hold, what I would say the weight of my false self anymore, because nothing weighs more than trying to be someone you're not.
Right.
So like just crashing from the weight of that and really finding myself in a psychiatric unit in Detroit, like at my wit's end and ready to surrender. And that's, at the moment where I did surrender and did go, okay, fine. I will like do what I'm called to do, which is speak and lead and inspire and communicate and express and all the things that come with my gifts and talents in this world. So, for me, I had to hit rock bottom. I don't know why we get like that as humans sometimes. We always got to like ignore all the little nudges and signs and all the people telling us the right things. And then and finally, when we hit the bricks, we like turn around. And that was my case. And so I just tell people, like, if you can just train yourself to listen to the subtleties of leadership, the inner whispers of your intuition sooner, faster.
Yeah.
Like you just save yourself a lot of like, pain that's unnecessary. Like the journey's going to be hard enough. Let's please not make it harder.
Yeah.
And then you also accelerate the process and deepen the impact. So I think if you really want to be a high performer, learn to listen to the subtleties and the inner nudges far more acutely.
That is such a great point, because I think about, what brought me on my journey with the podcast, and like I've always wanted to make an impact and really just help people realize their power and their importance. And, in corporate, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that as a leader, or I'm going to do that through consulting, or I'm going to do that through here. But I was like, no, I just got to get the podcast out there so we can reach more people and share stories like yours, being in a psychiatric ward and going through suicidal thoughts and being on the verge of that it's something that is not well received, especially in corporate America, but everybody's struggling with it. A lot of people are. And I know through COVID, I have a lot of friends and clients that struggled with that and made it through, but I also know some people that didn't. And, the fact that you're willing and open to share your story and we can share that with, our community here, it really means a lot to me. So I just want to thank you because, mental health is so important, and being able to find those mentors and the support to help bring you along there, and being open to realize if somebody's going through that. I don't know if your mentor knew that at the time, or when you're going through some of that, but
he knew exactly what he was doing. Okay. He was calling those things that are not as though they were. He was like seeing the potential in me. He actually like could probably tell I was like caught up in the wrong things, but he just saw to see he just chose to see beyond that and actually see who I could become. And so I totally think he knew what he was doing. Yeah.
So what do you say for the leaders, I guess, that see someone like that they feel like, maybe a lost cause, or but they see the potential there? What do they do? What can you encourage them?
You gotta speak to it, just like you did to me. You might not say man of God, maybe that would work, man of God, man of woman, or maybe it might be like, hey, a leader of integrity. Oh my gosh, like I like to just affirm what I actually authentically see in people. I think if you look for the good in people, you'll always find what you're looking for. People find the bad that they just go looking for, even if it ain't even actually there.
That's true.
The amount of assumptions people make about others who they have never even had conversation with.
I know.
It's like we might as well make good assumptions, instead of bad assumptions. We're like always assuming the worst.
Yeah.
Like if I told you someone was like talking about you behind your back, you're like, oh, what? Gosh. I didn't say talking bad about you behind your back, but our mind just always goes there. So I'll text people all the time like, hey man, they were talking about you behind your back. And they're like,
your pastor.
And they're like, oh, I'm like, no, it's good. See,
like,
like trying to reframe how we're always thinking, because we don't understand. We create what we look for. Like, so why don't we look for the good in every human being? So that's what I would encourage people to do. Is like, it's so easy. Lazy leaders see the flaws. You want to see a lazy leader, ask them what's wrong with the company. You want to find an effective leader, ask them how to solve something. What do you see that's right with it? Where are the opportunity? And so anybody can complain about the underperformer, the economy. Oh God, AI. We're complaining about AI.
Yes. Oh God.
Might as well complain about the internet when it came out. It's like, why are we complaining instead of optimizing, tweaking, and thriving? I know your audience is like, we are the innovators. We are the shakers. We're the joy. And so I totally get it. But sometimes it just helps to know you're not alone in this journey that you sort of, live as a leader. And that's one of the biggest things I see a lot of leaders facing right now. They feel extremely lonely.
Yeah.
Extremely lonely.
Well, and I feel like it catalysted from like the COVID time because
Yeah.
everybody was alone,
Yeah.
and I know I saw it a lot in New York because I was in New York during that time.
Yeah.
And I loved being in New York during COVID because it was like I could ride the city bike down the street. It was like there were articles and tests about how the decibels were like 10 decibels lower.
Wow.
And I just absolutely loved it. I had experiences that I never would have gotten in New York
true.
that
Wasn't for all
I won't
those
say it was
people.
all of COVID.
It wasn't
Yeah,
for all
and-
those people in the way.
No, it wasn't for all those people. It
Get the
wasn't for
people
all
out
those
of
people.
here.
I know. And the cars, I never would have ridden a city bike down the street in New York if there were cars on the street at first,
People
but
in New York will run you over.
exactly.
Golly. Sorry, New York.
exactly.
I love
know.
New
No, I
York.
love New York too. It's
Yeah.
but 12 and a half years, my heart, it was great, but it was, it was one of those things that it's like, you got to look at the positive for it because like, and not everybody had the same great experience, but like for me, I had an amazing experience because I was able to, do so many things. I'm not going to go off on my New York COVID experience, but it's another side note, another topic. But, I do think it's important about bringing that light into every situation. And, I think about, just so many times the good and the bad happen to each other and, happen to us. And it's like, okay, well, that car accident happened I could have been in that, but like maybe I was late getting my hair done and now I was able to get past that. So it helped with being able to get through and not be in a car accident. I don't know. I've seen those types of things too, but, I digress.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So, I know one of the things that you talk a lot about is communication and effective communication. Can you share with us a little bit about how that is part of your journey and what you found in I know you've had a lot of great trainers and mentors and coaches throughout the years. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Totally, man. It's funny because, what I learned is like, I've helped so many communicators in so many ways. It started with like, really, if I really go back as a child, my mom and my father weren't together and they had joint custody of me when I was younger. So I would stay with like mom during the week and dad on the weekends or every other week. But they were always negotiating back and forth in the court system about that. And I saw that there was many times that I personally suffered as someone that they both love because of their lack of effective communication.
Yep.
It was like because they were communicating about everything but the main thing, I suffered. So I feel like I started there.
Okay.
And then when I got a little older, I because I grew up in the streets and I was a naturally creative person. I wasn't like a tough guy. I would get picked on a lot. And I learned that if I changed my body posture, if I mirrored toughness, if I kind of acted like them, that they thought I was like them and it didn't get me picked on, it like got me like included in the club.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to mirror, how to read an audience, like as a child. So I was developing all these communication skills really because of trauma and insecurity.
So true.
Right? And so like I would tell people like, why are you so good? I was like, because I've been working on it.
Right.
So literally like as I train communicators and leaders and stuff, and one of the ways that I help them a lot is I can see when they're not being themselves.
Right.
And like when everyone else is impressed by their performance or the size of their company or whatever else their gift is, I'm looking like, but where's the rest of you though?
Right.
And how do I know that? Well, because I had to study.
Right.
Because I wanted to fit in.
Right. Right.
So I had to, every little micro thing. I just looked at. I'm looking at you now. You're
Like,
like, oh
I'm
no!
like, oh, no, stop it. I feel like I'm being analyzed here. I'm like, okay, but how am I sitting? Am I doing the right thing? How is this gonna work?
Yeah, wait, I can't.
Wait a second, hold on. We just did one on vulnerability. I'm like, oh gosh, what is he reading into me? No, I'm just kidding.
See, but
I
doesn't
am
it
being
help?
authentic. No, it is. It
does.
is.
It does. Because you
It
might legit. If we watch
Like,
this back, you might
like,
want to be like, "Hey, what do you
What's
see?
this?
Where was I?
Right,
Was
no,
I
I
actually?
know.
You know,
We'll go there.
I
Believe me,
know.
I'm not there right now. No, just kidding. But
And it's
it is
important
true.
because I remember getting in this like it wasn't an argument, but it was like a tension with the client.
Yeah.
And she was so logical, and she
Right.
wanted like.
Sorry,
and
you're good
and she
because I'm like-
deserved to get.
Yeah.
She was like, she's paying me a lot of money. She wanted like me to give her like line by line feedback on her speech, right?
Right.
Why can't you do that? If you can't do that, did you even read the speech? But I read a lot of speeches.
Yeah.
I read speeches all day long. I can feel the energy of a speech.
Yeah.
And I had been coaching her for a while.
Right.
And reading a lot of her drafts, and I can tell what's missing really quickly. So
Right.
I like read it, but I like read it energetically.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking through this thing, and then so we're in the restaurant. She's like, "Are you giving me feedback on the speech?" I was like, I am giving you feedback on the speech. No. Are you gonna like give me feedback, like line by line feedback on the speech?
Yes.
I said, I'm happy to give you line by line feedback on the speech. But let me ask you a question before I do. Do you want me to help you develop a speech or develop a sound?
Yeah.
Which one?
And what'd you say?
Sound.
Mm.
I said, okay. Well, then I won't give you line by line copy on your speech, because can we talk about why your voice isn't in here?
Right.
What's missing? What are you not saying? Say it like you mean it. How do I know that? Because I would read people all the time just so I could mimic Jim. That's how I stayed safe. So then, you take that, and I'm using my gift to hide.
Right.
Because I'm supposed to be myself and not care about rejection or fitting in.
Right.
Supposed to be leading and telling the little punks and bullies in school to go to school and do your homework.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm becoming like them instead of leading them.
Right.
I'm being influenced instead of influencing. Oh my gosh. So anyways, high performance athletics, can't hide. So then once I started to like surrender after the psychiatric unit, after this person sees potential in me, now I'm like, I have to develop my gift. So I retook a undergraduate public speaking course.
Yep.
Hired mentors and coaches. And I started to really learn all they're really telling me to do is to be myself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're
that's
like, wait a second. I know.
I'm like, hold on a second. Like, I can tell you hero's journey framework as a speech. I got ADHD. It was so hard for me to follow all 9 of or the 11 of the. I'm like, am I an adventurer arc? Who's the guy? I thought I was the guy. I was like, it didn't work for the ADHD side of me. So I was like, what's good storytelling?
Right.
You want to know what I learned?
What?
The story as it happened.
Yes.
So everyone that tries to tell stories as a communicator, so now I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Everyone that tries to tell stories as a communicator, they talk about the story.
Right.
Instead of letting the story talk.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to say it because it takes a minute.
It does.
Talk about the story. Okay,
Right.
so here we are, our old adult selves,
right,
looking back at the former versions of ourselves saying, this is what happened. I'm talking about the story.
Yes.
Instead of letting the story talk, which is to go to our 14-year-old self and our 21-year-old self and say, hey, you 21-year-old, tell us what happened.
Right.
So the tonality changes.
Right.
And that's, if people just did that, they would be so much more effective and powerful communicators.
That is
because they would actually give their former voice, or their former self a voice. Yeah. Okay, and that's really what we're looking to hear from is the story from the original point of view.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear the story where it's making all the conclusions. Get that out of here. That's you and your healed self staying safe.
Right.
How about you tell us the messy stuff as it felt, it happened, when you were scared? What was the thought that was going through your mind when they left you? What was the feeling that rushed through your body when you felt like when you got laid off and you had no other source or means of income? You know, how did it feel? Oh, what was your mental and emotional psychological wrestle like when you launched your business?
Right.
That's what we want to hear in the story, because that is where most people are. When we become speakers, we're literally trying to help the former versions of ourselves who are most times in some sort of pain that we empathize with.
Right.
And I always tell people that if you want to reach people in pain, you have to be able to express the pain that they're in.
So true. So true.
So people go, I don't want to go there. I'm like, well, if you don't go there, you can't connect with them where they're at. You're just over here, not actually connected to the current condition of their pain.
If you're a senior leader who keeps saying yes because it feels easier than slowing down to prioritize, you're not alone. I work with leaders who are operating at a high level but paying for it with burnout, overwhelm, and self-abandonment. When you get clear on what actually matters, everything elevates. Your impact, your focus, your legacy, and your peace of mind. If you're ready for that kind of clarity, I'd love to talk. Book a free call with me at freejoycall.com. All right, so have you heard of this phrase? I think it's something like scratch at the scar,
the
not at the
wound.
wound. What do you feel about that then?
Speak from the scar,
Speak from
not
the
from
scar.
the wound.
Yes, thank
I
you.
agree for the most part, but here's the problem for
Okay.
me personally.
Yeah.
Is that there was times that if I did not speak from the wound, two things would have happened. The first thing that would have happened is that I personally wouldn't have got healed.
That's fair.
Sometimes the healing came because I let somebody touch the wound.
Yep.
Hey, if you had a real life wound in your physical body right now
Right.
and you needed help, somebody would have to touch your wound
I put
in
Neosporin on
order
it.
to heal you.
Yeah.
As it
No,
is
no.
above, so it is below.
Yeah, that's
Let it be
true.
on heaven as it is on earth.
fair.
The
That's
internal is a reflection of the external.
Yes,
so
yes,
I'm
yes.
trying to say that like somebody
right.
has to touch your wound for it to
Exactly.
heal. So it's a
No, it's true.
false paradigm that you only speak from the scar, not from the wound.
It's true, and I think that's a great point, because one of the things that I see a lot is leaders don't want to let their guard down. And I know that's something that I've always struggled. I mean, I try to be authentic, not try. I am authentic with my team and all of that, but I think one of the things that I struggled with was, especially when you saw something that wasn't fair or just, and it's really, sometimes you're dealing with past wounds, and so that's clouding your vision, putting on the red glasses of, looking at that incident and what's going through. And so sometimes I do feel like as a leader, I've got to take a step back and say, okay, wait a second, like maybe that's my own internal scarring reacting here. Like, what is the reason that we're doing layoffs or we're moving to AI? Like, when we're looking through some of that trauma because people have been laid off for years. Now people feel like they're getting laid off in droves because of AI. I'm totally this is an ADHD moment, but I'm just thinking about like with AI, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job because of AI. It's not about losing your job with AI. It's about learning how to adapt and being adaptable and amenable to learning new skills and adjusting, I think. But if you stay stuck in the I'm going to lose my job wound, it's like you can't move forward. And so it's just like re-picking the scab versus, speaking from the scar.
I get it. And it's really not an either or. It's a both.
No, of
thing.
course,
Like,
of course.
It's that's why I said it's like I predominantly agree with it, because the truth is that most people aren't surrendered enough or prepared enough to speak from the wound.
You're right.
So I'm saying speak from the wound, but they're like, well, I just want to make some money. I'm like, well, okay, you don't speak from the wound. You speak
Yeah.
from the scar. All right, speak from the wound. They're like, but I don't know how. I'm like, okay, no, you speak from the scar.
Yeah.
But anybody that's like,
I know.
like, it's just a little tender.
It is.
And
It's getting.
are you sure it's
tear-
okay?
Right.
Oh, I have permission to speak from the wound. Okay, fine. I ain't scared. Then speak from the wound.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and then and again, not because it's dramatic, not because it's a
No.
wound and it gets you attention,
Right.
or makes people like feel bad for you or something.
Right.
Like storytelling is about shaping our reality,
Right.
and so it's like what's the point of me sharing this wound?
Right.
You
That
know?
is the key.
Is there relevancy to why I'm sharing it? Does it help me to accomplish a positive outcome
Right.
for them? Then I should probably share the wound.
I love that point, and that is such a key point, because so many people will share the wound and be like, "Oh, well, me, this, that, the other," and
God,
it's so
trauma glory.
right. And
Golly.
it's, to me, I've always been kind of like, I've tried to be of the mindset I'm a victor, not a victim.
Yes.
Which can be positive. There's a yin and yang to everything, right? But like, if you're always a victor, you can never pay attention to the victim, like where the injustice
Where you
was.
were.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
I
so
agree with that.
sometimes you have to sit in it and be like, okay, I'm in my
was
funk.
hurt.
I'm in it. Now, okay, now I'm ready to overcome it. And
Yeah.
like, what is that mindset shift and things like that? So I think the point that you made about like, what's the purpose of sharing this story? Is it just to release and, to your point, process the grief, process through that trauma? Or is it to just to say it just so that I can get other people on my side, because this isn't the water cooler talk where everybody's gossiping, because that type of trauma talk is not productive, you know. But if you are able to process and share and then think through, okay, well, maybe this will get me to here, or here's a solution. I like the point that you made earlier about, you know, not just sharing all the problems. Lazy leaders share the problems, whereas strong leaders share the solutions and find solutions.
Yep.
It's, you know, you got to process through in the brainstorming of, like, here's our potential options. I'm from risk, so I look at every different risk option, and then, like, when I get caught off guard, I'm like, that was not in my selection. But it's thinking through and being able to process some of that and then reach an ultimate further point.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So, well, thank you so much for that. I know that you have a plan. I'm totally forgetting the book that I want you to share your book.
My book?
Yeah, the one,
System of Self-Care?
yes, that one,
High
because
performers?
I loved seeing and hearing the feedback on this book, because so many people talk about systems and processes and, like, I got my to-do list and I've got this and I've got that. But the system of self-care, I think most people don't prioritize themselves. And so I was hoping you could share a little bit about it and, you know, what your favorite thing was about it, or.
I know. So let me try to give the high level, because I've been working on this. It's so good. Okay.
That's great.
Self-care. We have a system of success as high performers. Most people know 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders. They're doing Brian Tracy. They know how to eat the ugly frog first. They know the productivity matrix and quadrants. We know how to organize task lists. We know Pareto's principle. Like, we know system of success. But then I say, hey, what about self-care? They're like, well, you know, put your oxygen mask on first. They start quoting cliches. I'm like, where's all the Pareto's principles for that, huh?
Right.
You know, and it's like, so I'm trying to turn it into a game of high performance.
I love it.
So that high performers start valuing self-care, because the research actually shows, you know, the more, you know, connected we are to our self-care practices and all that stuff, that the more productive we are. And I could, like, spin it in all types of specificity, but that's me in general.
Right.
Okay. So I just tried to put it in a care system. So CARE is also an acronym. So can't forget it.
Of course, you need acronyms.
I know. So it's conscious awareness, activities, relationships, and expression. I'm going to say it again. Conscious awareness, activities, relationships, expression. Can you say it?
Okay, hold on. Conscious activities.
Conscious
awareness.
Yep.
Activities, relationships, and expression.
Yes, one more time. Come on.
Okay. Conscious awareness,
Yes.
activities, relationships, and expressions.
Yes. So
there we
now
go.
That's the care system. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
All right. Now, what I condensed that to is like 4 moves. So it's basically one move. Like it's a whole book with training.
Yeah.
So when I do my keynotes, I'll go, hey, here's the 4 moves you need to do.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And so it's like in the conscious awareness bucket, it's like, hey, if every day you feel more often, and more accurately.
Yeah.
Okay. So feel more often.
Feel more often.
And more accurately.
And more accurately.
Okay. Yep. So you just do that. You're doing one of the primary practices. In the system of self-care. So your system. Yeah. Every single day you're going to feel more often and feel more accurately. And I'll tell you exactly how to do that. Okay. You're at the end of your day, you're going to take a set of 15-minute timer. You're going to grab your calendar. You're going to walk outside. And you're going to look at what you did for that day, and you're going to start talking about what you did and then how you felt
in
about
my voice memo
you did. You can do it in your voice memo. Yep, I do encourage people to do it inside, like, you know, a transcription service. But again, if all you do is talk it out, you don't have that, that's fine too. Okay. And if you want to print your paper out, cool, and not have a digital phone, cool, no distractions. Okay. So talk about what happened and how you felt about what happened. You're going to start to feel more often and more accurately because you'll start to talk about things that you felt a certain way about during the day, and you will have clarity about some of the ways what was actually happening in that scenario. And be like, oh, well, actually, I forgot if that happened. Or, it was like a lot of that will happen. Okay, so that's feel more often and more accurately.
And more accurately. I like that because it's almost that forced reflection. Like I have a note in my calendar to reflect and do like
Yeah.
a little journaling thing. And that I won't say it's 15 minutes, but I do
know.
like 5 minutes. So I like the idea of that, about
Yeah.
taking that 15-minute pause. And it's one of the things that I've been working on is getting to sleep on time, because I'm like, now that I'm, an entrepreneur, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, you got so much to do. And
Yeah.
so it's like that slowing down. I think it gives you a nice pause of the day to be like, okay, 15 minutes,
That's it.
reset, and then
At the end of your day, whenever your work day is done, that's when you do it. Okay, so that way you can process
awesome.
each day. Unprocessed pain is ill-processed pain. You take a daily physical shower. You need a daily emotional shower, or your emotions gonna stink.
Did you just come up with that?
I did. I
You're gonna use
did. I
that in your next
so did.
keynote.
Now that's gonna be in all
I'm
my
like,
stuff.
I love
Okay.
That is so
Hey,
good.
activities, okay?
Okay.
So activities, we're going, so after we feel more often and more accurately, we're going to move our body daily.
Okay.
Okay.
Move our body daily.
Yes. Okay. Now, there's so much stuff I wanted to add on to that, but it gets a little complex.
Okay.
What I do want the audience of high performance to know is that body movement is a tool for high performance.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're a corporate executive, I guarantee you I can make you 20% more productive by helping you move your body more at work. And I'm not talking about walking on a treadmill.
No.
I'm actually legit talking about doing a body movement that's conducive to the task that you're doing. So if you need to have extreme focus, maybe do some creative writing, maybe you move your body in more like a yogic pose and listen to that type of music, like spa type of stuff or ocean
I listen
stuff.
to that when I'm in my focus.
Or some of the lo-fi beats or something, that type of stuff. Or if you need to do a lot of sales, which a lot of times for some people requires a bit more of a raw energy. They got to have courage be ignited. And so they were to move their body, turn on like Rocky or something, or listen to
There you go. Got it.
They start doing that. And now all of a sudden your energy's different and you probably close more sales and not acting all scared to quote prices.
I love it.
So activities is about moving your body so that it's working with you so you can be in the state that is most conducive and effective to the task that you want to do at hand.
Right.
Okay, so that is now your system. So if you did that every single day, okay, and you focused on moving my body daily so that I am more optimal for my task. Okay, now you are in one of the best practices in activities, okay? So we now have one of the best practices in the C, conscious awareness,
reflection,
accurately.
Outside for 15 minutes. Activities, body movements. Is there a time limit on that, or just
what?
Whatever it's like?
Literally, I tell people 2-minute dance parties. If you do 2 per day, that's enough. Okay, 2 per day. Okay,
so we got
2 minutes.
15-minute reflection. Outside, truly feeling the feelings.
Yes.
A 2-minute dance parties. And now we're moving on to relationships. What do we do for relationships?
Okay. Steward daily.
Okay.
Take 15 minutes and manage your relationships like you manage your spreadsheets.
I love that.
Okay. So most times in financial accounting, accountants hate the miscellaneous category because you can't just dump everything in the miscellaneous category.
Everything usually gets dumped there.
It does. And when you do that, you don't give yourself the right metrics to know where you can make your optimizations at.
Right.
Too many things is in the miscellaneous category. Where are you overspending, underspending? Where can you optimize, innovate? Where's your opportunities? You don't have clear metrics because you don't have clear data. The same principle applies in our emotions. Okay. Everything emotionally, we tend to put in the miscellaneous category as leaders. Sounds like this. How you doing? Fine.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful today.
Miscellaneous category. You're not fine. There's not joy. No. It's you actually got a lot of stuff going on that you keep stuffing in that compartment. And the worst part about it is that people can do that for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years.
I had a boss that used to say, if I were any better, I'd be twins.
Oh,
I love it. I was like, okay,
our
that's
little
good.
one-liners to
I
hide.
know, right?
Mine's is today's my best day, or what was it? How am I doing? Ask me. It
How
comes
are you
to
doing today?
have my best day.
Oh,
You
there
know,
you go. Yeah.
something like that. Oh, living my best life. That's
Living
what I
my
say.
best life.
Living
Yes,
my best
I've
life. That's
heard
what I
that
say
one.
all the
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Yeah. How you doing today? Living my best life. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that. Even when
yeah.
I'm suffering.
Right.
And by the way, it's so that I don't wallow in my pity and shame and become a victim to my life.
Exactly.
And it's also the way I hide.
Right. Well, and the thing is sometimes you need to have that mask on to protect yourself because you definitely don't want to let it down with everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, no, don't be in the middle of your like networking.
No, I
dinner
know.
at
Be like, oh,
I'm
I'm going through a
terrible.
divorce. I'm going through
You know what I'm
this.
saying?
Yeah.
But hey, at the same
Right.
time, don't go through the whole networking dinner acting like you're fine if you're not. And
Right.
maybe if you would just be like, yo, I don't know if I'm going to be in business next week. Maybe somebody writes you an offer.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. You know what's funny? Actually, we're going to sign note for a second because in one of the events that I was, our brand builders events, like everybody goes out to dinner after, the first night, whatever. And I was like, look, I just need 30 minutes of joy time. I call it. I'm like, that's my joy time, my me time. Like I can go to dinner, but I need to recoup. I'm like, there's nothing wrong, but just, I need to go do that. And sometimes you just got to reset. But so relationships we were talking about, I know we side noted, but you got to invest in your relationships.
Yes, you got to invest in your relationship. Steward relationships daily.
Steward relationships
So
daily.
again, I'm just giving you one of the most potent things you can do within this. There's lots
Right.
of different activities. These are
Right.
practices. Conscious awareness is a practice that you have to do daily in order to
Right.
become better and better at. It's a skill that you don't want to get old and rusty at.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that we can do. I just gave you one. It's an
Yes.
exercise in my book called emotional accounting. That's what the walking exercise was. Okay. Activities. This is about moving your body. There's a lot that goes into that. I gave you one to do, which is try
I
to
love
move your
that.
body in a state that's conducive. Do 2-minute dance parties and let that dance or that body move. Remember, dance is not always like,
Yeah. You could
sometimes
just be
dance is-
salsa or it could be
yes.
like,
right,
know,
subtle, okay,
yeah,
whatever it
just
is, okay,
moving.
but move the body.
Got it.
Stop being stiff executive.
Right. That's fair.
This is how I'm supposed to look, supposed to behave. No, and then the moment you go home, you drink mimosas and whatever,
Martinis or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so relationships, steward every single day. You know how to have financial accounting. Now you have relational
Relationship
accounting.
accounting.
Okay,
I love that. Okay.
I know, me too. And then E is expression. Okay, most people, 78% of the workforce is disengaged from work.
Okay.
That literally means that while
So,
they're at work,
78% of the workforce is disengaged from work.
yes,
It's crazy.
it's crazy. That means that most of the employees are at work thinking about something else.
Right.
Like they're
Not
typing,
focused.
responding to the emails,
Yeah.
hired for 40, 60 hours, doing like 20 hours of work while they
Right.
spend 20 hours complaining, looking for jobs, looking at the economy, complaining about AI,
Mhm.
doing all the other things, but cranking it out for the
social, yeah.
company. I'm so sorry, corporate. This is why they pay me, okay?
I know,
Because I'm the guy that's like, hey, I will be the one to tell you your employees are underperforming. It's
Right.
obvious. I came from high performing athletics. I could
Right.
not understand why I got to work at 9, ready to go, ready to execute, ready to lead. And these executives were like,
Oh, yeah. I know.
how you doing? Welcome to the office, Darryll. What, did you just wake up?
I know.
Dude, I've been up since 5. I already sent the emails. Did you not read my emails?
I know.
What are you doing? I already am on to tomorrow's thing.
I love
what?
that.
You're gonna
Yes.
wait to the deadline to send it? Oh my god!
Yes.
I sent it as soon as I was done.
Yeah.
What
I
is
know.
happening? And I was like, oh, I don't belong here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't belong here. Because what I did is then I did that, and they were like, oh, you just do more.
Yeah.
Do more.
They just keep piling it on.
Give me
until
more
it's
money.
around you.
No, you
Yeah.
can't have any more money. No more money.
Right.
What kind of Ponzi scheme is this? The person doing the best, Look, in
the
athletics,
most
if I
work-
did the best, I got a bonus check. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
My name was at the top of the scoreboard.
Right.
I do my best here. It's like I get the grunt work. No
Yes,
way.
you're like, I'm
Oh
out.
God, why this lazy, low-hanging employee because they been here longer gets more money than me? Heck
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Last time I checked, the old guys retired and let the young guys play. Sorry to say that. Okay,
Right.
you can
No,
delete
but
that
it's
part
true.
of the
Yeah,
podcast
it's
out.
I love this. This is the best podcast ever.
Shit, this is the point where they're like, "Oh
I
God,
know.
let's
No, it's
uninvite
great.
him."
It's great. No,
Right?
it's
So
wonderful.
it's a thing, but expression.
Mhm.
Expression. Every day do something you love for 15 minutes or more.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to give people benchmarks that don't feel so intimidating to them. I tell you, out of the C, the A, the R, and the E is always the hardest one for me to get people to actually freaking do.
Because it's not expressing it's not just expressing emotion loud like you just were in the office, but it's about expressing yourself through your activities and
It's
enjoying
doing what you love more often.
Yes.
And what I'm really trying to do is actually to get them to be more passionate about their work. Like
Right.
if you're at a job and you have to be engaged or disengaged, most of the time, like if
It
you're not
sucks.
actually there,
Right.
why are you there? Like I'm going to tell you this
Yeah.
way. Like I had a girl I hired,
Yeah.
okay, digital employee. Oh God. I'm like, so that's fine. I got
Yes.
some good ones too.
Yep.
But I'm like, I finally got on Zoom with her. She's like sitting in her lazy boy chair, just like,
Like laying in bed, doing whatever. Yeah.
like, hey man, you gotta go to work.
Right.
Like, she's like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, no.
No.
You're not working. You gotta
Right.
I want to see your hands sweating if you're gonna type all
Right.
day.
I know. That is so
Paying you
funny.
$55 an hour. You better type faster than or lower your price to
Yeah.
$15 an hour.
Right.
Based upon how fast you're moving. Turtle power.
Right.
Okay, now
Turtle power. Love it.
next time tell me which
Oh,
one
God.
wins
I know.
the turtle or the hare. And this is it. The rabbit wins.
I love it.
But what I'm saying is like
Yes.
on a sports team, low performers don't survive.
No, you're absolutely right.
In a corporate organization, it's like almost like they get incentivized to do nothing.
Right.
It's like, oh, cool. Sally's just keeping it on. I'm like, no, Sally would have been out.
Right.
Okay. Put Benji in because Benji
Yeah.
wants to grow something. So expression, man, if you don't love what you do something else.
Right.
Go work for a company you actually love, whose values actually support, who makes you want to get up in the morning. Because
Yeah.
if you're not doing that,
Right.
listen to me.
Yeah.
You're literally wasting your
Oh,
life.
I totally agree with that.
Most people work more than they do anything else in the world.
Mhm. A third of the week. Really?
So why would you spend a third of your entire life
Yeah.
disengaged?
Right.
Wow.
And just to reach that, whatever the next tick on the box is, just to fit into a box.
And let me just say this before you just go quit your job
Right,
and
we're
go
not
think you're
saying
gonna
that.
find it in another thing.
Yes.
Let me tell you, like, purpose is always where you are. Purpose is always where you
Exactly.
are. And so when I was in like Central Michigan, like I was doing some of what I love, but not all of what I loved. I
Right.
got to write, I got to tell stories, I got to work with students, but I wasn't doing this. I wasn't speaking.
Right.
I wasn't my own author. I wasn't traveling
Right.
the world. And so I had more in me. I was dissatisfied there. I was disengaged. I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, oh, this is whack. Like, how can I
Right.
do more? How do I impact more people? And they were like, what are you talking about? Like, we got 36,000 students. Impact them. There's a lot of people. I'm like, no, millions. They're like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
like,
No, I want to do
you
more.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, there's a lot of people that feel like that. And for me, expression, I couldn't live my entire life with that in me. I just couldn't. And I just want someone listening to this to be like, you know what? No more.
Right.
No more. I'm actually going to express and do what I love.
I see that, and I think I love that. That's why I'm on this path.
Yeah.
I know, but I also look at, it's not a but, it's a and or. For me, when I was in corporate, I loved what I did, and I loved what I did every day. I mean, you had your good days and your bad days, and like
Good.
it's, not everybody's like that, but I
That's
think
fine.
some of it is that perspective and mindset shift too.
A big part of it.
And so that's the key thing I want some of our listeners to take away from this is we're not telling you to go quit your job. It's like sometimes you got to do a I can't say it right now.
A self-assessment.
Thank you.
Like
That's
you
the
do.
word.
You have to know yourself to grow yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so like when I tell people there's a talk I do called Hold the Rope. It's about team
Yes.
accountability.
I
and
saw that on
ownership.
your speaker reel. That was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm like, because it's true. Okay, sorry.
It is true.
Go ahead.
But no, this is actually good conversation because most people get caught up in like I used to get some companies like, oh, dude, can you do the rope talk? Because
Right,
they just
it's
want me to
like,
do the
do
tug
the
of
tug
war.
of war, yeah,
And it is
no,
fun. I'm not gonna
it
lie.
is,
When you got
yeah.
women like kicking off their heels and pulling,
Right, it's
But the process is like the whole promise of that talk is that I can come into your organization and help everyone be better, take more ownership over their
Right.
job.
Right.
That's a big promise.
That is.
Well, how do we do that? Here's my 3 points: deeper into self,
Mm-hmm.
deeper into service, deeper into story.
Mm.
Okay. So notice I didn't say leave the job.
No.
So how are we going to get more ownership, more passion, more productive in an authentic, not forced from the top down, not show
Right.
up, not false incentives, not trying to throw out the employee thing like they're strippers.
Right. I don't get that one.
But so you give strippers money
Oh.
to do more things.
Okay, I get it.
Like,
That's funny.
I'll give you
I'm like,
10,000,
well, I didn't get it.
20,000 more
I get it.
to
Yes.
incentivize you.
Yes,
It's like,
to
you don't have
incentivize
to
you, yes.
incentivize them
No, that's fair. Oh God.
if they're intrinsically motivated.
Yeah.
Deeper into self, deeper into
Got it, yes.
service, deeper into story. Deeper
Yes.
into self is like, why are you here on the planet? What is your
Yeah.
purpose? What are your gifts? What are you most passionate about? You got to
Yeah.
know that first, okay?
Right.
Deeper into service is like, now can you see the service in what you're doing? More deep. And most people, they can ignite more passion in their work just by actually feeling into the impact of what they do more. It doesn't matter where, like, if you're in a big business, you probably solve
Right.
a problem. Like even if you sold printer ink,
Right.
if you reflected on, hey, somebody, how many nonprofits raise funds because of email or letters that they print that
And
have
flyers.
that have ink on it?
Yeah.
And what if you thought about all the lives that were being changed?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like deeper into
Totally agree.
service.
Totally
And
agree.
then story is the intersection of your personal story and the organizational story.
I
Because
love that.
usually when you go deeper into self and then you find a deeper level of impact in the service, you can see a deeper connection with the organization's story.
Right.
And now they don't have to force you to show
Right.
up to work. Now you just are like deeper into self, deeper into service, and deeper into story. So you show up with more ownership. So I'll talk about all the problems in the front. I'll make them pull the rope. They'll
Right.
pull it. Then I'll do the deeper into self, deeper into service, deeper into story part. And then I'll talk about my story. And then I bring them up again. And then I turn the music up. And then I make them pull the rope. And then they
Yeah.
see physically the difference when they pull because they actually want something.
Right.
And when they pull, when they didn't really care because they just
Right.
came to the conference and thought it was funny.
Right.
And now I go, hey, you see the difference?
Yeah.
Every day, how hard you pulling that rope at work.
Right. I love that. You sold me on that.
Now I need to do that talk.
I
more.
know you do. You do. That was a great part of your speaker reel, though. I really did enjoy that when I saw that. I was
But
like,
none of that
oh,
comes
that's-
across. It just looks like we're playing tug of war. We're
No,
like,
it
that's
does.
cool.
But that is really.
I'm like, no, that's actually changing lives. Somebody was like crying, like, oh,
I
I've been
know.
trying for 40 years.
I love it. I love it. Oh God. Well, I know this has been one of the best. This has been a great.
Are you
episode.
sure?
Yes, this has been awesome. I've absolutely loved it. But so as I said, we've got 2 questions that we wrap up with. If you can help me, what's one key thing you'd like our community to take away from today is to care? That's my thing.
To care.
No, I think the care. Yeah, to
Yeah,
care.
care and communicate.
Care and communicate.
Because
yeah.
you can't communicate until you care. That's why I
Yeah.
wrote the care book before the communication one that I'm writing right now.
That is so great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I love that. And then what brings you joy?
Oh, my children. I have 5. They're under
I
the
know.
age of 12.
And they are so much fun. They are
So
so,
much fun.
adorable.
So cute. 4
So
girls, 1
sweet.
boy. So
Oh my
it's
gosh.
like my kids bring me joy. they remind me to have joy. They make sure that I know that joy is really the only thing that's available when you're not living in the construct of worry. Like the only reason why kids don't have, or the only reason kids have joy all the time is because they don't have bills.
Shoot, yes, you're right. They don't have bills and they don't have. You're right.
No
there's
concerns, do you? You don't have to worry about
responsibilities.
nothing.
I know.
No, what are you talking about? Free food, free everything.
Yeah, I want that. I want those sneakers, Daddy.
I know. So I'm like, man, that's life. That's joy. Because
It
we
is.
have all that we need.
It is.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this community. You bring the joy out of me. I love it.
Thank
It's
you.
great.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe. All the information can be found in the show notes. And until next time, keep your joyous edge. See you next week.